Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Marshall here. This time I'm trying something a little bit different. We've got a 2 versus 2 cast for you. This time on Dry Arabia. In blue, Team 1, we've got Hera as the Rus. Straight into a house. A little bit of an idle ville there. Needs a bit of construction there. And going into a hunting cabin next to the woods. That's going to give a slow trickle of gold for the Rus. So it's always nice to get that up as soon as you possibly can. Like us with the lumber camps and the Rus, you really not got to capitalise on the wood, because if you build an outpost or something near these lumber camps, you get a bonus to your wood collection, as it were. So that's Hera, prominent SC2 player and streamer, and now SC2? Age 2, blimey. Up here we've got RoxyC on Team 1 as well as the Red Franks. But for a slightly later house, and a little bit housed as a result. Unfortunately, need to get that house a little bit earlier in future, please, Roxy. Then, in yellow, on the other side of the Arabia map, we've got Odette. 8 food, 2 gold. As the English, looking to get to age 2. Well, I mean, that was the cat again. Looking to get to age 2 as soon as possible to get the council hall, I would imagine, for the quick longbowman. So we'll probably see a transition to wood now to start getting ready for that longbowman build. There. Meanwhile, next up we have Slam in Frankish green. So you've got 2 Franks, a Rus, and an English. Looks like everyone's just trying at this point to get up to the second age. The Franks will probably go with the School of Cavalry to get the Royal Knights, and then they'll be sort of duking it out across each other while the Rus and the English try to sort of make things happen. The interesting thing is the Rus also get early Knights, so that will kind of factor into this sort of Frankish play there, where you're going to have 2 players with knights against 1 player with knights and 1 potentially going more archers and infantry. So I would expect the English player here to go archers and pretty heavy spearmen, in all honesty. I'm just wondering how the raiding would pan out with that, but we've got a School of Cavalry going up for Team 2, and Golden Gate going up for the Rus. And where's our School of Cavalry for Team 1 as well? Yeah. As anticipated. Now, let's take a quick second there to have a look around the rest of the map. I've changed the vills to Hera so you can see how he's shifting up his vills now that he's on the way to the second age. Very much wood and food, and then letting the hunting cabin give that trickle of gold. 24 per minute at this point. So, having a look around the map, we've got hunts all over the place, which the Rus wants to really be going around and harvesting as much as possible. You would expect Team 2 to go around and just kill off their own hunts as much and as soon as possible to stop the Rus getting the gold from this. I must admit, I didn't quite see if they were doing that. It looks like Odette over here has been doing something like that. And that's just going to lame it up for the Rus. But otherwise, we've got 3 sacred sites at a bit of an interesting distribution. We've got 2 kind of, well, this one nicely between the bases, then the one at the sort of northeast edge of the map between the 2, between the Frank and the Rus player, and then just a bit further north, so sort of almost parallel with Hera's the Rus. It's going to be a little bit easier to capture this one, potentially even easier to wall it off. And then you've also got a trading post up there as well, which Roxy and Hera can make use of. So I think the map definitely favours Team 1 here. Let's see if they make it work for them. Some more sheep coming back for Hera now, delivering to the town centre. Golden acts as almost kind of like a landmark in and of itself. And then knights coming out as well, using that early knight advantage from the Rus. Royal Knights coming out from RoxyC there. And also from GLSlam. GLSlam, if you will. English, yeah, we've got some spearmen coming out already. Looks like a more heavy spearman play than a longbow play. I don't really even see any units really pushing out for anyone really here. We've got a Royal Knight trying to do a bit of an issue, but then we've got an early Knight coming in to assist while firing under the TC. So this Knight from GLSlam, I'm just going to call him GLSlam or GLSlam, whatever, right? I'm making it up as I go along. That's not been a great run for Slam there, really. One Knight usually doesn't do a huge amount of damage to these things. Meanwhile, the same for RoxyC against the Spearmen. So it's all about trying to poke and take Vils away from gathering time rather than actually killing them. Can you force the opponent to go, oh my word, and run the villagers away? Although they might not sound like that. I don't exactly know what RoxySlam and Odette sound like, but that's neither here nor there. 3-on-3 here. Both sides have injured parties, so there's literally no point to having this fight unless you want to reset the battlefield, and I think Hera realizes this. It's like, yeah, I'll just wait. If he pushes in against RoxyC, we can kind of double team him a bit, and that's exactly what's happening here. Knights on knight action with a scout to turn the tide. That scout is going to be Hero. I want to watch that scout. I'm going to call him Frederick. Although it's a Frankish scout, so you would probably better call it Georges. Again, I digress. Moving back towards Hera's base here. Again, don't want to get too close to those TCs, but we need some more unit production, I think, and that's exactly what the Rus is doing. Looking to get more early knights. Let's have a look at the income per minute to see just how feasible that is. Moderate gold per min from Hera. Probably needs a few more hunting cabins just dotted around. No harm in it. They'll probably pay for themselves pretty quickly if you do that in the sort of out of the way positions and on wood lines that aren't really going to get harvested anytime soon. 4-on-4 going back to the base potentially. RoxyC being a nuisance to Slam. Just want to make sure that these two knights, or rather this knight and scout, don't get cornered in this choke here. Hera just keeping an eye and then backing off. I wouldn't recommend hanging around in that kind of number disparity. But yeah, when I was talking about wood lines, like you've got these tree lines here, a hunting cabin in the middle there would be ample. It's out of the way, unlikely to get raided, and it'll probably pay for itself in gold over time. And then the same thing up here, perhaps. Between the bases on this wood line, like you can build up more than one hunting cabin at any particular time, but I guess that depends on how much you want to sink your wood into it. I'm just contemplating whether or not I should get the cat on my desk, because then I can at least control what it's doing. To a certain degree. Trying not to get housed from Hera. There, let's have a look at Vil and military. So 35 Vils to 7 military from Hera. 36 to 8 from RoxyC. 28 to 18 from Odette. So a little behind on the villagers, but much greater in terms of the military. That's producing cheaper military is the English here, really. And then GLSlam 36 to 10. So the red, the green, and the blue are all pretty much in the same sort of space here. Odette trying to do what is possible with a few spearmen in there, possibly making the difference, but looks like Team 1 is coming out on top here with just the superior number of knights. Really needs many more spearmen from Odette to really make things happen. Or at the very least, Odette needs to get up to Castle Age quick and transition into Springalds and crossbows to deal with this sort of heavy knight play that he is surrounded by. Come over here. Come on. Stop being a nuisance, cat. Apologies for the camera while I was doing that. But either which way. I'll just let you watch this while I pick the cat up. Yep. That's right. Now, just settle down. Settle down, will ya? Blimey. You know, if this was a game that was a bit dodgy and released last year, you could almost call this Night City. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? This is the Middle Ages, not cyberpunk futures. Right, you are going to sit on me there because you are being restless, and I can tell you're just going to be annoying. Yes, that's right. I'll sit there. Oi, don't start attacking me, thank you very much. Don't do that. We're getting the spears from Odette now, though. This is just what we need to stave off the aggression from Hera and Roxy. Right, you're being annoying. I'm going to go and let you out. Bear with me, folks. There we go. Right. Hopefully, no more interruptions. Right, what's happened in my absence? Got a few knights rolling around in the middle, as you would expect. We've got a hunting cabin up for the Roos inside of Roxy's base there, just to gather the hunt. Just make use of all of it, because that's another advantage that, well, difference, shall I say, in Age 4 over Age 2, is that carcasses don't really delay. Run those vills into the TC. Nicely done. And again, this is Team 1 taking harvesting time away from Team 2, especially on that gold. Especially as they're trying to get up to Age 2 here. 740 gold. Definitely looks like they are saving up for Castle Age here. All the vills from the woodline now running away as well. This night raid is paying dividends. Just got to conserve the numbers here, so get out and run away. That was a good hit and run. Don't stay any longer than you need to in these sorts of raids. If you see that the vills have run away and you don't have enough to outright deal significant damage without taking significant losses and leaving yourself open to counterattack, just go away. Don't outstay your welcome. Come back another day. Especially if you can then make it up to the Castle Age and get more additional upgrades. Even running away will give you time to get more units onto the ground and be at a defender's advantage. It gives you time to get a blacksmith up and potential upgrades. Therefore, we're getting a blacksmith up from Hera now, you see there. Have we got one up from Roxy? Yes, we have. And we've got the melee and the melee defense already researched there from Roxy as well. So these red knights are going to be a little bit more powerful than the blue ones. But the spears get the surround! This is dangerous! This is dangerous for Team 1! Spears are in there! Team 1 taking a good number of losses there. That was a good bit of surround from the yellow Odette. Look at all those blue knights and red knights in the tall grass there. Not good for them at all. And they're now split up on the runaway. Slam now running into Hera's base. Hera reacting preemptively with vills, running them away from the gold line. Potentially we'll have to remake this this mining camp as well. So here, Slam getting his revenge against Hera. A few small contingent of knights running into Roxy's base. Gonna force some vills off the gold line here as well. One's gonna go down, possibly two, possibly three. Roxy looking elsewhere on the map rather than worrying about the vills. Rather is going to be looking to defend this. Team 2 now looking rather dangerous inside of Hera's base, or rather on the fringes thereof. Excuse me. Roxy needs to think about getting some help in. In comes the Knights, the Spears, trying to build battering rams, but Knights against Spears, again, you don't want to be doing it. Possibly want to transition into some ranged units, but we don't have any archery ranges coming up from Roxy. And look at this, Slam is just being a right old nuisance. We don't have many outposts or fortresses from the Roost player either, so it's just literally going to be a night slaughter here, really. Hera's just going to have to make it work somehow. Fighting under the TC is his only option here, really. Killing off this hunting cabin isn't too much of an issue. I mean, there's a couple of berry bushes there, but it's not the worst thing to happen, let's put it that way. Smith upgrade for the defense there. Hera now coming in. Going to try and kill that battering ram. Thinks better of it as the spears run around it. Blacksmith will go down. Again, spears fighting under the TC. Only putting 5 vills in that TC. A few more now to try and make more stuff happen with these arrows that are firing out of it. Spearmen getting weakened pretty quickly here. Hera now losing 2 buildings. Roxy next in the firing line. We've got 2 TCs from pretty much everyone now. Do we have Castle Age from anyone? We've just got more and more barracks coming out from the English. We haven't even bothered building longbowmen there. And we've even upgraded our spearmen now for the English. And the blacksmith also. All upgrades researched from Odette. So these spearmen are very strong and resilient to town centre fire as well. These early knights, they're not wanting to stay in this engagement for too long, because then Slam is going to come in and get the surround. So the Hera can get the surround on Odette's spearmen, but then Grand Slam will get the surround on Hera. So it's going to be a bit of a glomph, shall we say, when that engagement actually happens. But we've got to get some ranged units, or at least some kind of infantry out for Hera here. The food gathering is uninterrupted. We've got hunt happening elsewhere. Roxy now trying to do a bit of a flank. Slam and Odette caught in between the two and a gold mine. Hera's Knights getting the surround on this. Will the upgrades really turn the tide of this battle? More spearmen coming in from the outside. Looks like blue numbers are dwindling here. Very weak and few and far between. Green Knights as well falling by the wayside. This is going to reset the military battlefield, and Team 1 comes out on top. Going up to age 3 now as well for Hera, with that extra, what is it? The whatever cabin it is that produces deer every so often and has a few economic upgrades. Where's he building? Up in the top here, right between, there we go, high trade house. Between a couple of wood lines. During its gold, like hunting cabin, with the value increased by 200%, so hiding it away up here with tiny little wood lines is a good way to keep it nice and safe. And it spawns deer, and so that sort of helps keep the vills nice and safe as well. It's not too far away, but it's, you know, far enough away that the likelihood is Team 2 probably won't scout it in any reasonable length of time. So let's have a look at Roxy now. No age 3 landmark as of yet. Just building more TCs to get Vil counts up and running as fast as poss. I'm potentially starting to save up now for that 3rd age with all of this gold being built. Odette here making a little bit of a blunder, I think, getting completely swamped on the spearman's round. I tell you what this is. This is a rally point that hasn't been edited by Odette. This is not good. This is units going to their doom by Odette. Any more on their way? No. Yes, no. Gathering outside the base there, but just more and more barracks going up. Knows that it's just the spearmen that have to be done. The only gold that's gathered from Odette here is going to go into research and upgrades for those spearmen and aging up. So That's what the English player's gold mine is for. Walling in a little bit on the wood line there. It's an open wall now, though. But we've got a little bit of a counter-attack here, though. Hera and Roxy into GLSlam's Frankish settlement. Got a couple of outposts that the Vils can go and sit inside of. No network of castles bonus for the English as they move in. I wonder whether it's worth in team games just popping up a little outpost in your neighbour's bases in case you do have to come across with some ranged units. Then again, network of castle bonus only really impacts ranged units anyway, I think, so off the top of my head anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Team 1 here have too many units for Team 2. The Frankish Knights from Slam are dwindling. We've got stables producing knights, but they're just going to be like lambs to the slaughter as they come out. The snowball's rolling. Hera and Roxy making a great team here. Great dual push. And you'll notice throughout the game, their coordination as a team, while on the defensive and on the aggressive, has been really good. And I think that's what's been pivotal in dealing with Slam and Odette. They got that surround by the gold mine, and they just stuck it out. They were like, you know what? We've got the superior numbers. We've probably got the upgrades. We've got them surrounded. Let's just reduce the number of units on the field because we're probably both building reinforcements. As it stands, there's too many knights here. And all of a sudden, the military for Slam is down to 3 units. 3 units in the military. This must be GG, surely. And Odette down to 12. Meanwhile, Hera's on 32. Roxy's on 29. I don't know about your maths, but to me, those odds seem relatively insurmountable. We've got up to veteran spearmen now for Odette. Just seen that change happen, but we just don't have enough spearmen to really make things count. In terms of blacksmith upgrades, well, we haven't got to age 3 for Slam, so they're not going to be able to get those age 3 upgrades that Hera is now fielding. Spearmen. The spearmen, as the English would say, are powerless. Odette surrenders. Slam does the same. And here endeth the long night. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 2 versus 2. Please give me any feedback in the comments below, because I've been doing lots of 1v1s recently, and most other casters I see are doing 1v1s as well. So let me know if you want to see more team games. It's slightly tricky to get good ones, though, because most high-level players will play 1v1s predominantly. So let me know what you want. And do, of course, please do that whole engagement piece. It's much appreciated, and it really helps me out. But aside from that, folks, I've been Marshall, and I'll see you next time.